Happy New Year, everybody. I hope that there will be somebody here because I posted this in the morning. I wasn't sure exactly when I would be able to get online, so I waited for a few hours. As you might expect, I didn't sleep a lot last night. I mean, I did fall asleep, but I got awakened by the fireworks because I am, and apologies, but I forgot to remove the nail polish from this fingernail. I live near the little suburbs center where I live in, and also near the Air Force Base, so two places where they have, give me just a second, it's a little bit too much light on my face. So yeah, and then it took a while for the whole thing to wind down, and then I had to fight Finnegan all day long because he decided to be again cuddly and everything, and I cannot do anything because of that. Because when I try to work at the computer, he comes and jumps in my lap. When I try to pick stuff up around the house and do stuff around the house, he goes and sits on whatever I'm trying to do. So, I was mostly spending the day laying down on the couch with him on my chest and watching TV. So that was my New Year's Day. Anyway, so I see that we do have a few people watching. So it's up to you to decide if you want to see me doing UV resin. And I did find two of my actual Angelina films that are the real deal, so they would do better effects than what I showed you the last time I showed you, or polymer clay. So if you are on, you are one of my subscribers, so you can chat. I will be waiting for you to tell me in the chat if you'd rather have UV resin or if you'd rather have polymer clay. So let's see what everybody is doing. Also, for people who are from Europe, and I know that it is translated as time, THYME, but if you try to recreate one of your traditional European dishes with what is translated in English in the US as time, that is a lie. It's not time. What we are used to and what we use in Europe in that kind of cooking, the herb that we are used to, that in Germany is known as Bohnenkraut, in Romania is known as cimbru, but in the US you find it as summer savory. And do not try to use regular thyme with cabbage because that's going to taste horrible. Use the regular thyme that you can find in the US only with roast. So that was my experience with my New Year dish. Because I used to grow it when I still had a cottage garden, but I ran out. Alright, so I don't have yet, give me just a second. I forgot to grab a lighter. I do not have yet any. I put in, let me see exactly where it is, because I put it in my Amazon influencer store where you can get it on Amazon. and I will show you exactly where you can find it. Let me get the display to work. So this is my Amazon influencer store. Let me link it in the chat. So it's in resin inclusions and powders, and I'm not sure if they still have their own store, but this is a pretty old, I mean it's over 10 years that they've been in business. And I've linked some sets, and they might seem expensive, but seeing that I've had this for over 10 years, and I did use, I used to make whatchamacallit, fairy wings out of them. And long time ago I showed how to make fairy wings. So as you can see, I still have a ton of them. These were not from More is More, no. Anyway, but you can get all kinds of Angelina film from More is More. I'm not even sure if this one still exists. Let's see, joggles.com. This must be, I don't find the big, I used to have, I mean, I know I have somewhere a bag full of More is More. Yeah, they still have it. Let me see, Angelina. They have Angelina fiber. And it is they don't have Angelina film, they have Angelina fibers, and those are pretty neat. I'll probably have to order some. Let me let you see it. I'll have to order some to show you how to use them. And like the Angelina film, it is heat bondable, most of them. I see that this one is a semi, but all the other ones are heat bondable. And then they make beautiful effects. Okay, so let's get to do a real Angelina. I have here some trays, and what the stuff that I would recommend for the trays. Not even sure if I want, which of them I want to get. Let's get a long one and a round one. These all you can find on my influencer store. You can see that these round ones come in 3 colors. Actually, let's get this one, a wider tray. Make sure that I am. Okay, what I would do personally. Hi Gina, Happy New Year. What I would do personally is I would fill these first with black, and of course you can bake them afterwards. Let me flatten this a little bit before putting it through the machine. And of course you can also paint. Put some black paint and let it dry instead of, and then you won't have to bake it at all. So I'm going to simply get my clay, but this way I will be able to show you exactly how this works. Let me get my eyes. And very important is to make sure that you don't catch any air. Just simply, first you check the middle, and then you simply use your ball stylus and I'm gonna do the same for this one. It needs to go again. And I promise you, if Finnegan comes again to pester me, I will lift him and I will show him to you. People who follow me on Facebook, and I'm not talking just about the Kalyana Facebook page, I'm talking about my regular profile. I did share Finnegan's Happy New Year. He is just the most adorable thing ever. And first you trim the excess like this, like I'm showing you. But then you'll have to go back and trim it a little bit more more delicately. And one thing I can tell you about my whole situation is that I did have the appraisal done and it came up okay. Now, prayers are that that person accepts, because they are not obligated to. So, accepts my buyout offer. Okay, so let's go in and do this. So what you need to do here is to just go I'm not removing anything as of yet. Just follow the line at the end. So you need to cut it at the base of this lip that the tray has. And now we can remove the excess. But I can promise you that the final thing will look absolutely stunning. Hi Quebec, Sevchan Quebec. I'm not sure which is your first name, because I know some people from the eastern part of Europe sometimes use their family name first. But hello and welcome. But yeah, as I said, I sure hope so too, because once that is done, I'm not going to be stressed out anymore, and I should be able to take care of my my crafting and art. It's been ages since I painted anything. One of these days I'm going to show you some of my paintings. Remember I told you that I used to sell on Etsy, but I closed my shop after they allowed in all the Chinese and the third-party sellers. I was like, nope, this is not a crafting medium anymore. So and I also stopped going to the local fairs. It's too hard for me. The last fair I've been to was the local medieval fair back in, gosh, 2014. So it's been 10 years. And the medieval fair lasts for 3 days. So it was way too much for me to be there. It was fun, but it was way too tiring. Okay, so now I'm going to press these against the edges. Right. Remember I told you I have issues with grasping and pinching. And we are expecting, I don't know how the weather is where you are, and I know the people kind of north of me on the map are looking at much worse than what we are looking at. But starting tonight, actually even last night it was below freezing, but starting tonight for the whole week there's going to be below freezing in the evening. So I am going to grab, because see, if you work with trays like this, they do have the bail, and obviously having the bail, if you try to use resin, it's going to go this way, so it's not that terrific. So you have to put them on something that would hold them flat, and you can put the bail outside here. So my first thing will be to get it a little bit started with a few mylar flakes before I do anything else. And it's just simply the ice resin opals crystal opal, and I'm not trying to make it into a full black opal. I'm just trying to make a little bit of more like dichroic stuff. I'm going to put a few and you want to flatten them in the clay. And then I'm going to grab some of the blue ones, also the ice resin. So the aquamarine opal. And I'm going to put them here, but on the other half. holding my breath when working with this. I forgot to get, because normally I wear one of those masks, so I don't have to hold my breath, because these are so delicate that the moment you breathe on them, they start flying around, and then you find them even in areas where you wouldn't expect them to be. So flatten them well into the clay. Don't let them get past the edge. Let me grab this one and make sure that everything is flattened well into the clay. And now I'm going to grab some of this Angelina film, and I'm going to heat it up. I don't need a whole lot, especially for these two, and you'll see why I said that it's going to last forever if you get any. So this is the Angelina film. I'm going to grab one sliver of this one, and one sliver of the purple one. And I'm gonna say, well, it still looks yellow. Yeah, but it's got different coloring once it's heated up. With maybe I'll do again one of those fairy wings tutorials, but this time uploaded video, not okay. Lift this a little bit. So first heat it on high and then switch to low, the heat gun. Okay, so I got this one done. Let's do the other one. So we have two different colors now. I'll get this back here. And I will refocus so you can see better what I'm doing. I will zoom in. So the whole thing is to cut little pieces. Let me zoom in a little. Okay, this should be just fine. Alrighty, so I'm going to put the lighter one first on, and I'm going to cut several this. Let's do a longish one. You just arrange them The problem is if they get too curved, because you don't want them to be too curved because they'll stick out of the resin. So try to flatten them up a little bit. Oopsie daisy. And this one I need to cut the end. The end is too much. This one as well. Now if you go for a wider, and I will do one that is completely flattened, I mean in a mold, you can use the other ones. That's not a problem. I mean the ones that are curved. Okay, so let's grab a few. This one is too curly. I'm trying to grab pieces that are not very don't know if you can see the bubbles on this. It got bubbled up. So depending on what you're using as a source of heat, it will do various effects. I know when I was doing the fairy wings, the fashion at the time was for the fairy wings to, hi Lianka, Happy New Year, was for the fairy wings to have holes in them. And I would use the lighter to do that. And when you start using the resin, you can flatten them more. That's not an issue. Just make sure that you don't go over the edge with them. That is very important. This needs something here. And you can go and look at it from the side to see if you have something that is going too far out. This one is going too far out. See how it is at this end here, curly. Now if you go with one of those crystal type molds, you know, the ones that are deep, you can place these however you want, but when you do a flat, you want them not to go too far out. Don't put too much resin at a time. Start with the middle and then start spreading it around, making sure that those little strips get incorporated in the resin. And it's a good idea to do it in two steps, because you don't want to go too thick. So put first a smaller amount of resin and spread it away along as much as you can. I will be changing the light here so you can see once it's done, because I know that at this specific point you cannot see a lot of what I'm seeing. And I thought of trying something, and we'll see how that works for you to be able to see better what I'm doing here. Just make sure that you go all the way to the edges here. And apply a second layer of resin only if you have any of those little strips poking out of the resin. Then you can apply another thin layer, because theoretically the resin should keep them down, because it weighs on them, so they shouldn't be able to get lifted anymore. Okay, so now let's go ahead and get them hardened, cured. And then we'll get ready with a mold this time, a regular mold. What the heck is wrong with you? My UV lamp is starting to cause issues. Okay, so let's see which of them do I want. Let's do the round. So this is just the oval. This is just to show you how things would look. Now it wouldn't be a definite piece, but just to show you how to place them and what's the difference in them. And I'm going to also use a little bit of colored UV resin. Okay. have here all kinds of little things, but when you work with molds, you're going to work backwards. So first you put a little bit of resin, then you put the Angelina film, and after that you finish the resining. Okay, so I want citrine. What color do you think I should do it? I have a citrine, I have a green. Let me actually do several colors. No, I have a purple. So I'm going to place a little bit of resin here. What the heck is in here? I'm going to place some in the middle. I did leave a not very nice review on these. I'm gonna have to get a different brand, because as I said, this specific one, the DIY craft ones, didn't impress me much, especially because of the didn't they have something to open first? Because of the bubbles. Specifically, yes, they do have something to open first. And when they are like this, I find it pretty hard to open, and I'm getting worried that I'm gonna blunder all over the place. Okay, let me make sure that these are too. Now, because I was asked many times, I did answer this. Some people messaged me during the years to ask me what is the best UV resin to use, because they have this problem when they try to work with it. It gets thick before they finish spreading it. So if that happened to you ever, what you have to think is that the UV resin is cured by sunlight and obviously by daylight. So whenever you work with UV resin, make sure that your windows are covered. Hi Chris, Happy New Year. And that you use a light that doesn't have a UV component. Like these LED lights that I'm using, there is a reason why I'm using these, and yes, you can find them in my Amazon influencer store in the what I use for my videos, equipment I use for my videos section. And they are like gooseneck lamps, so you can rotate them to go exactly where you want. Okay, now I can start pouring colored resin. So I'm going to put just a little bit of each, not a lot, but I do want to give it an extra oomph if you want. And a little bit of purple. stretch it some. Just to get it all over the place. And start placing our pieces in. And you want to get several, at least 2 different Angelina film, like I have here. You want at least 2. If you have more, you can add more, obviously. And yes, it looks like I'm making a whole mess here, but this is how you get all the effects. Hey. Okay, and this should be enough. Oh, do not use, if you have the tweezers, it's actual colored resin, but it's not pigment. But you don't need a whole bunch of it. Okay. Let me go over it to calm it down. Hey. And as I said, I think I found a solution for you to be able to see exactly what I see. Because as I said, the Logitech has updated the webcam software. And it was one of those updates that fixed stuff that wasn't broken. So okay, let me add some more. It looks so lame what I see on my screen that I could easily understand if you're kind of feeling disappointed, but trust me, once I'm going to try and do that. If not, I'm going to play with the and I know that generally speaking we avoid air bubbles, but in this special instance air bubbles just add to the whole thing. Okay, didn't do that now. All right, and now let's try the thing that I was talking about. Give me a second to turn on my phone. Okay. See the difference? Alrighty. So this is what you see with the regular webcam. This is how they actually look. Let me grab it. I can move it around. And this one needs one more layer because you can see there's still stuff coming out, but you can figure out how it's going to be at the very end. Let me try and do a little bit of it's still not full, because even so the camera, but it's better than what you see with the plain camera directly. You can see the different nuances. And this is the beauty. The Angelina film changes colors, and also because it changes texture when it's heated, it forms all these beautiful prisms. So can it look like oops, what the heck, I touched something. Can it look like I'm going to try and wait for it to try and stabilize. Can it look like a black opal? Yeah, absolutely can. But you can see the huge difference. And how beautiful this whole thing looks like. And you can use this. Let me grab the other one because it's in the meantime it got. I need to do the back a little bit. But yeah, you can see the huge difference. And let me show you in a close-up how the Angelina film looks like. I'm going to try to let the phone focus if it wants to. See, this is how it looks like when you move it, which the other camera doesn't show you. Let me grab another piece. And once you superimpose several of these, you get this as a result. So it is absolutely fabulous. There we have a good focus. What the heck? I'm not taking photos and my phone is like, okay, if you're not taking photos, then get out. Let me get out of there. But I'm just waiting for the other one to finish curing. So I should be able to tell you by this weekend how things are going and how we are going to proceed from now on. But it's hot. Okay. It's still too hot to hold. But you can see the different. Let me try and grab it with my tweezers. There we go. That's what I was talking about, dichroic effect. Dichroic glass effect. It looks exactly like dichroic glass, because in the dichroic glass you use also, let me zoom in, you also use this type of film. Well, it's a more resistant, heat resistant film than this. So this should be good. This is hilarious, trying to use two different things just to show you how something looks like. Okay, there we go. Now I can see all the prettiness of the dichroic, for dichroic glass. Okay, let me try and get these ones with the zoom close up to let it. It's got a underwater effect that this camera brings, so it's not much I can do about it, but you can see what I'm talking about better than before, I hope. So there we go with these. Too bright, too. No matter how much I'm trying to. This software update completely messed up everything, unfortunately. But as I said, you can try it and you will get all kinds, and see the little colored resin that I put in here added to the effect, even if you can barely see it. I mean, I can see the little bit of yellow here and a little bit of purple here and a little bit of green here, but it added to this whole dichroic glass effect. And even from the side it still looks dichroic-y. But there you go, a better explanation, because this time I did find the real Angelina film. We didn't work with cellophane. So yeah, I do recommend that you get the more is more Angelina sets, and you get pretty much quite a bit of Angelina film with that. And I will, once this whole thing is over, I will order some Angelina fibers to show you what you can do with it. And I'll also make a fairy wings tutorial, but let me find it in the former, so just in case you want to fairy house. That's not in. Let's see. Okay, I think I have two of them. Yeah, there's one. Let me share it, and I'm going to enable the display as well. No sound. Well, this was when I was still using Hangouts on Air. If you can see, it's fairly old and the quality is not that terrific. It was in the very beginnings of my, when I still didn't have all this beautiful equipment I have now. But there's also this, and this is a better quality. not this one, but this one. Let's go towards the end, because I did a whole bunch of stuff in that video. There's all kinds of trying to find the exact thing when I did the fairy wings. Not here. And this was, I did some nice stuff. I'm not sure if I got to the fairy wings in this one, but I did a whole bunch of canes and things. Anyway, yeah, this is pretty much it. And I guess I don't have a good quality video on how to make fairy wings, so I should make one. I promise. Once this whole thing is over and I can get my mojo back, I will make one. Anyway, I hope you liked it and you will try doing stuff like this, because it's very, especially if you get, there are some molds that are even thinner than this, and imagine getting long thin resin earrings like this. They make such a beautiful effect. They're absolutely fabulous. And this one, what I do, I just poke a hole here and I put bail, and that's it. But there you go, this is how they come out. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you have a wonderful what's left of the first of the year and a great new year beginning. So don't forget to like. If you are seeing this for the first time, don't forget to subscribe, and I shall see you all Sunday. Okay, thank you. Happy New Year. I love you all. Thank you for being here with me. See you Sunday. Bye.